Hey everyone, Decius here with another piece of content. We're going to be playing some Project Quarm once again. I am on my Shaman. This was the character I was playing in one of my previous Project Quarm videos. I think he was like level 9 or 10 at the time, but I have gotten him to level 21, so we have made some good progress. I've been in between places, so when I have been playing EQ, it's just been on my laptop. So I've been doing most of my grinding there, so it feels good to have a good setup again and just playing on my regular PC. And while you're here, I do want to point out that I post Everquest videos semi-weekly if you're new to the channel. So if you like these kind of videos, like listening to them in the background or just watching Everquest content in general, feel free to subscribe to the channel. But anyways, I want to make this video more of kind of a live gameplay of sorts. I'm currently in an Unrest group in the main room camp. We have a pretty decent composition of players. We got a Necro. I think Sizzler is a enchanter? No, he's a wizard. Okay, that makes sense because I haven't seen any charms or mezzes. We got a cleric over here. We have a bard as our tank. And then we have a cleric, Bonadek. So it's been a pretty decent composition. I'd say it might be a little bit low on the DPS charts, but like, you know, this is we're definitely very sufficient. We have some good heals. We have some good tactical abilities. I've been slowing the mobs, and I do have to rebuff. But anyways, I kind of want to talk about my experience so far. Getting a little bit further. Oh no, getting a little bit further into Project Quarm. I don't have my root mezzed right now. Okay, so we're rooted in. Very good. Just got to get my buffs loaded. But yeah, so far on Project Quarm, I've had a lot of opportunities to group up with players, which has been really fun. Especially in like the West Karana areas, killing the bandits and turning in the sashes. I got a lot of platinum from that. Unfortunately, since then I haven't got a lot of platinum in Unrest, just because I think it's just difficult to loot all the mobs sometimes when you want to have like a rotation with the rest of the group, so you're not looting everything. And so in the end, I kind of just like don't end up looting that much, which is fine. And once I hit level 24, I get the cannibalize spell line, so I'll be able to oops, I gotta switch my spells. I get the cannibalize spell line, so I'll be able to kind of replenish my mana more over my health, which will definitely help a lot. And I do want to end up doing a bit more soloing as well. But I have noticed that the XP modifier is pretty decent for being in a group on Project Quarm. I think you get like a 10% XP bonus per player or something like that, up to 60%. I think that is like a limited time event for like the next day or two, so I don't think that's a permanent thing, but you know, might as well group under those conditions rather than solo where there's a lot of downtime medding in between mobs. On my cat. On my Project 1999 series where I'm playing on my Necromancer, I had a lot of opportunities to have some super efficient soloing sessions. I think one of the most notable for me, besides the Treant camp, not the Trents, I guess, it's the Treant camp, which was super good money, was the East Karana Crag Spiders camp, right where you run through that whole tunnel area from the High Pass hold onto the actual like East Karana field itself. There's all these like level 20 like to 22 Crag Spiders that are walking around everywhere, and that to me was like such a fun solo camp because it really allowed me to build on my soloing abilities, to be honest. And I thought the camp was super chill. I did end up running over there on my Shaman. It didn't seem like they on this server that there was as many Crag Spiders roaming around as there were on Project 1999. I only saw a few of them, so it might be just a difference to do with the client. And so far, just from my, you know, very rough opinion, and I have a lot more progress to go, I think soloing on the Shaman is a lot more difficult than on the Necromancer so far. You don't have the the fear kiting capability. You don't have a pet yet, and it's mostly just kind of a tank and spank situation where you're just slowing a mob and just, you know, auto attacking and maybe doing a dot. But at this point in the low 20s, like all those fizzles. At the low 20s, the dots and direct damage spells in general, I think, are super inefficient mana-wise. Just as you saw there, although I do need to skill up a bit more, I fizzled several times and I lost like 40% mana just trying to land one direct damage. And, you know, I can't blame the class for that. It's definitely the spell skill that I need to level up more, but I think right now being in a group is more efficient as a shaman right now. It's been very chill gameplay. I'm slowing every mob, keeping buffs up on the melee classes, doing a direct damage spell here and there when mana permits, and, you know, using a root to separate mobs when they add up. I haven't been using the melee or the MALA, the Mala spell line just yet because I feel like it's not so efficient mana-wise to bring down resists when it takes over 10% mana to just cast that spell, where I don't think there's a lot of payoff for it. Same with Disempower. I think the mobs die fast enough to where that spell doesn't really have too much of an effect. Same with the dots. The dots so far, they don't do a lot of damage. The one I just got, Affliction, it does 30 damage right off the bat, and then it does 6 damage every 6 seconds, which in my opinion isn't quite worth it for especially grouping where it costs so much mana to begin with to cast these spells. Let me make sure. Okay, the Darkbone. And also, I would love to hear some Shaman tips as well. For slowing at this point, I've been using the level 5 version, Drowsy, just because it's very mana efficient. I think as I level up further, I'll use the Waking Sleep more. And maybe I might just use it in this group because it doesn't seem like I need to be casting many spells to begin with. But for Drowsy, it still reduces the melee speed by like 25%. It has way faster spell casting time, and it consumes way less mana than the level 14 version. It consumes 33% as the full level. So in groups, especially when there was a lot of pulls, I just used the level 5 Drowsy version because it's a guarantee that I'll be able to slow everything without wasting my mana, and it's a faster spell cast. But let's see, I'll use Waking Sleep. So I lose 13% mana for one Waking Sleep cast. I think for this group, and as I level and my mana pool is growing, I think it is an okay thing to do at this point. But when I was like in the teens and in the courtyard camps and the gazebo camp in Unrest, I was definitely just using Drowsy because it's just way more efficient mana-wise. I still want to have enough mana to, you know, do some healing if I have to, especially for buffs. At this point, buffs are super mana resource, like high on mana resources. Like I use over half of my mana pool just to fully buff one melee class, and that's why I'm appreciative sometimes when seeing he even resisted. That sucks. In this group, there's only one bard, so like I'm just kind of keeping him buffed up. I haven't really been buffing the pets. I don't know if that's a really efficient use of mana. But yeah, that has been my experience so far on the Shaman. Just gameplay-wise, not even talking about the server. The server itself is definitely like very good community, very similar to Project 1999 in that sense. Every group I've been in has been super friendly. I've had some conversations with various players and stuff. So it's been really nice. Also in this guild, Hardened Casuals, they do like a bidding thing for just random gear. It's like a guild bank where they're kind of just giving away good loot. So I've been taking advantage of that. I think I rolled from some pieces and I In about an hour and a half, the roll is done, so I'll be able to check and see if I got any new fat loots, which is good. Let me heal this guy up. But yeah, I've definitely been having a good time on Project Quarm. It's a chill server. I'm kind of going in with a different philosophy than I have with the Necromancer class. For the Necromancer, I kind of wanted to go to areas like I've never explored really. I think so far I've been kind of following the straight and narrow, like efficient XP kind of zones for the Shaman so far. Especially being in Unrest, you know, it's such a good zone and it's hard to pass it up sometimes. But once I get cannibalized and at level 24 and I get a few more nice tools in the toolbox of being a shaman, I want to definitely go to just some different kind of zones, and I want to do some good platforming because right now I am flat broke. I got 34 plat to my name, and I feel like I can't think of like a very good camp right now in the low level 20s to really make a lot of money. I think once I get to like the late 20s, early 30s, a lot of camps open up that I can take advantage of that actually have some decent loot. So got a little bit from there. I might end up just farming the bandits in West Corona. They'll be super low level to me at this point, easy to kill, and I can just farm those sashes and turn into bronze weapons. I think that wouldn't be an awful farm for just some spare platinum for spells and stuff. But yeah, that's been my experience so far on Project Quarm. Just rambling about the game, about the class. I do want to play an enchanter as well. I think my plan on this server, I mean, it goes up to Planes of Power, so there's a ton of wiggle room, a ton of time to kind of field classes out and just level different classes and, you know, farm some platinum and be able to twink like alt classes, alt tunes. And I think I want to, you know, work on this shaman, get him leveled up. I've never really played a shaman, so it's I'm not gonna cast that. I never played a shaman, so it's kind of fun to feel out this class for what it is. It has some components similar to an enchanter, which is my favorite Everquest class that I like. And once I get cannibalized and, you know, those other big spells, I think the class will definitely open up and feel more engaging to play. Because so far, it feels like just a lot of sitting. And that's fine for what it is right now. And honestly, honestly, I could be meleeing if I want, but, you know, I don't think it's very mana efficient at this point to melee, or even DPS, being DPS efficient, because I don't do that much damage to begin with meleeing. I do have the Gloomwater Harpoon, so I did pick up a couple new toys since my last video, and it's nice because pretty much all of this platinum, all this gear that I got, despite a few pieces of gear, I do want to shout out a guildie. His name's Drag. He gave me some really nice gear yesterday, just from the kindness of his heart, just helping another homie out, so I appreciate that. But I did get the Gloomwater Harpoon, which is a really decent one-hander. Good hit points, strength, decent damage delay, so it's good for just soloing if you're just meleeing stuff. I got a full set of bandit armor. And then Drag, he gave me a Savant's Cap, which actually drops in this zone coincidentally. Serpentine Bracer, I think that drops in Lower Guck. He gave me a Karana's Tear, which is some, you know, stamina, some extra health, which is never a bad thing. He gave me the Drake Scale Belt, which had some dex, some AC, a couple fire resist points. And the Drolvarg Mantle, which has some decent AC and agility, just for some survivability. I did pick up the Initiate Symbol of the Tribunal pretty much right when I made this character. Here we go. And easy level, like low level Barbarian Shaman quest, has 1 Wisdom, 3 mana, and it summoned the hammer that I used a lot leveling up in the early levels. So very nice neck, no reason to replace that just yet. And I picked up this Chitin Shell Shield. Decent AC, some good poison resist, nothing crazy, just extra survivability. And I do have some banded gear to sell, so if you're in the market for some banded gear, hit me up, send me a tell, Wise Runner. I can sell you some banded gear. But yeah, that's been my experience. I'm almost level 22, which is pretty exciting. I'm going to slow these mummies and give our Bard tank update on the dexterity buff. I think dexterity is pretty good for bards. Maybe, I don't know. I got some research to do. And I do love on the server that there are spell sets. It makes it so much easier to save time. Just being able to load up a spell set right off the bat with a hotkey for buffing. What I've been doing, I don't know if there's a better system about this. I think I already slowed them. Is you can't really see how long a buff is lasting on another player, and I do have a worn out bar right here where it says when my spells wear off, but I never see like a buff, like a message about a buff wearing off another player. So what I do is I cast the buff on myself, and then I cast the buff on them. And so once the buff runs out on me, then I know that I have to recast it on the players that I buffed. So, I mean, that's just my system so far. Yeah, I think it's been working for me for what it is. This enchanter's giving us some buffs, which is pretty nice. Got a rune. I do have clarity I've had for a little bit, so that's super long, or super nice. I'm gonna get waking sleep back up here. I think we're replacing the wizard with a warrior. A warrior's coming to rep him, Vithar, so that will definitely be a good DPS increase. I'll be able to buff him off too. No fizzle, let's go. Yeah, that nuke does 81 damage. Very decent, very good damage. Can't complain there. Let's see. I probably will cut the video short about now. I don't really have a lot more to ramble about for the time being, but I just wanted to make a new video, you know. It's been about 2 weeks. I'm all moved in the new place now. So thank you for all the comments. In the past video, that was very supportive of everything. We're pushing to 800 subscribers. We're pretty much right on the cusp of 800. So the new goal, 900 subscribers. I know we'll get there. I appreciate all of the support and everything on this channel. It's been truly awesome to kind of have this nice little EQ community going, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like. It helps out. If you didn't like it, dislike the video. It still helps out. And I make Everquest videos like this on a weekly basis for the most part. So if you're interested in checking out some more of my videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, take it easy and happy hunting. Get some good XP, get some good loot. See you later.